Good morning, race fans. It is October 6th, 2023, and we are live for the Qatar Grand Prix Free Practice 1. This is the Racing Statistics YouTube channel, and once again, this is Crash coming to you live for this watch-along. Big stories right now. Weather report. It's hot, it's dry, but the big issue right now is that there is a basically a sandstorm going through the area. This makes the track, which is already green, already dusty, much more dusty. So we've got a high stakes practice because this is the only practice this weekend, sprint weekend. So later this weekend, later today, we're gonna have the qualification for the race, and tomorrow will be the sprint race and qualification. I want to thank everyone who's watching right now. We've got almost 1,000 of you. Wow, thank you. We're almost about 200 likes. Thank you as well. Shout out some of the regulars and subscribers, right? Members, I should say, of the channel. You see, let's go back a little bit. Danish, RS, Yentl, Paula, Google. Wow, who else is out there? You know, these people have green chat names. They've been members of the channel. They've got that nice badge. If you see mine is a dark purple. Just color of the chat, the badge, basically how long they've been here. MGC is joking. Max is usually driving an orange haze, so the stance won't bother him. No, it's again, it's more track surface. So we've got a brand spanking new track. They literally resurfaced and rebuilt the paddock, resurfaced the area. FIA, because they resurfaced it, they consider the track to be completely new, even though it's the same layout and design. Just looking through right now, we've got one person who you guys are talking about the Andretti Cadillac issue at the moment. For those who don't know, FIA basically said the only team that has met their standards to potentially join the grid has been the Andretti Cadillac partnership. And so now the next step is that it will. Oh wow! Yeah, no offense to anyone here. It's American Team Americans also do a real world championships. You do Google. You know I'm American over here. I'm coming to you live from north central Texas, about several hours north of. I live several hours north of Austin, which is where the American Grand Prix is going to be, which is going to be our next Grand Prix. So go figure. Yeah. Google what is Celsius? What is a kilometer? Go figure. But anyways, the next step of the process, basically for Andretti Cadillac, is to talk with FOM management, and we'll see where that goes. I'll be honest. Andretti's has met the definition of a team that could be on the grid. It's really hard for F1 management not to take, particularly with bringing GM on board. Um, on a business standpoint, you're going to let one of the big three American auto manufacturers who's not been in F1 before show up and compete. That's a hard call. I think FIA basically pinned down F1. They kind of have to take Andretti at this point. Rumors that Toyo may return F1 as a partner with McLaren. Could McLaren Toyo return to its winning days? Possibly. I mean, more constructors, more engine constructors on the grid is a good thing. Let's be honest. Having more different engine constructors in F1 is a good thing. The diversity, what you want is a good diversity of engine constructors. Like right now, Mercedes is offering up their engine to two different teams. That's for Mercedes. Like they know they make their money, but it's not great for diversity. I know Aston Martin is going to Honda later on. Toyota jumping into the mix is a good mix as well. You know, so don't get me wrong. Like F1 is in a great place already with engine manufacturing diversity. They can go a lot better. As they add more to it, it just makes the sport healthier in terms of F1. Our selected tire compounds is the C3, C2, C1. So we've got almost the hardest compounds again. The C1 is a replacement of last year's C1. Last year's C1 is still in use as what they call now a C0, a C1. The C1 is a replacement of the C0 from last year. Last year's C1 is C0. So the difference between, again, if those who don't remember, they added the C1 compound, which was supposed to be a bridge between the last year C1 to C2 compounds, because there were a lot of cases where they just didn't bother using the C0s, the C1s last year. So they're looking to get more a slightly softer compound, but longer than again that midpoint, so teams would actually use it. Get these excuse me, it's basically shouting out for Red Bull. So here's another story. Max, in the sprint race, only needs 3 points to win the championship. He needs to come out this weekend with 143 points. He's at one. He is ahead, being 143 points. So he's got a lead of 140 over Checo at this point. He just needs 3 points, and it's done. Pretty much. So what that means on Saturday, if Max finishes 6 or better, he will be the world championship. And so the sprint race tomorrow, yeah, it will. Yeah, so for the sprint race tomorrow, basically, if he get, 6 or better, basically he will be the world championship. It has been mentioned before that Max has won the championship in a weird way. So he would this year particularly win on a excuse me, on a Saturday with the sprint race. Last year it was confusion whether he won or not in Japan, and then Abu Dhabi in 2021. So there's been a weird way of which Max has won the championship. Again, I want to thank those who are showed up for our watch-along. This is, again, the Qatar pre-practice one, the only practice this weekend. Hubert, I don't know why you were I, Hubert, I don't know why you were timed out. That makes no sense. I don't know why the bot went after you. I would just let that go. Yeah, it's weird. You did not post a link. I don't know what the bot's doing. We're about ready to go. We've got already on track. We've got Haas. We've got Alfa Romeo. We've got Lawson and Verstappen out. So you're going to see a lot of people go out quickly pretty soon. Again, this is the only practice we have. It's a sprint weekend. So this what would be sprint practice 2 is going to be the qualification for Sunday, and then tomorrow's what would be free practice 3 would be the qualification for the sprint, and then what would be qualification is going to be sprint race. Give the map a moment right now. They probably have to calibrate it for some reason. This happens with FP1 on a regular basis where the map is not ready to go. And it can be anywhere like five minutes to most of the, depending on what's going on, what could be like five minutes to anywhere to most of the practice, depending on how long it takes to get them up and going. I'm gonna wait a minute before we start throwing out times. They're going around for their first initial lap right now. watching right now, we've got most of the field out of the moment. The only right now, Russell, Sargeant, Alonso, Albon, and Piastri are the only ones who are now out on track just yet. Science has an issue? What's going on? Yeah, so they're basically telling Science to not push right now. They're having an issue, but ultimately they're going to get him back into the pits, basically. How you basically saying a new surface as well will be so slick. So again, the track that we're seeing is a new surface. It is already dusty to begin with, and then there's also a high winds, which is also kicking in dust and dirt across the surface as well. So it is very dangerous right now at high speeds. And you can literally see it literally looks like they are on a wet surface with the amount of dirt that they're kicking up. And Max is just reporting how the surface is very slippery as well. So this is going to get very interesting. It's going to get very interesting very quickly. Are we going to see a red flag? Is someone at some point later on is probably going to go off? I'm going to say right now, that's probably how we're going to get a red flag in this session. Max fastest in sector one, and he's in a flying lap right now. 35 seconds in sector one, 32 just in sector two, fastest of anyone in those sectors. 28 and a quarter Science set in sector three. We'll see where Max puts down his time. Max is going to go below 27 seconds. Russell's just done faster sector two under 31 in the 31 seconds. So he's on his flying lap. So Max had a 134.913, which is literally the fastest. Science did a 137. Let's see what Russell is doing. He's on pace. Magazine does a 137. Perez does a 137. Stroll does a 139. Norris does a 137. Yeah, Max just basically put the hammer down. He's what, two and a quarter, two and a third faster than Magnussen's time. Russell just did a 130, 134. So Russell just now came in under a tenth of Max. So we're doing a 134.8 versus a 134.9. Oscar, they're showing Oscar right now on track. Alonso to the P1, 134.724. So another tenth and a half shaven off from Russell's time. Google is mentioning that this right now times 11 seconds off normal driving conditions. That's how slick it is. Again, the track has been resurfaced. It's dusty because they're the only only. Max is complaining about how the sun can't see anything with the sun. But again, new track surface. They're the only racing event this weekend on this track. So no F2, no F3, no Porsche Cup or other racing events, and we're showing Charles Leclerc going off track. He's going around the miss the apex. So that's something to be an eye on as we go forward. Is track limit's going to be an issue, and so again, dusty already, and then there's a dust storm coming through with high winds. So it is a date. We're putting a dangerous moment right now on track, with what's going on, and we will see huge track evolution. Max already fastest first sector. Russell has already answered with a fastest second sector. Max will come across the line the first, and then Russell will come across the line. We've got dueling fastest sector between them two right now, subsector. So Russell improves his time to a 132.955. Verstappen comes in at 133.2, 133.238. So Russell's into the 132s already. Gasly's jumping into P2 with 133.116. Norris has jumped to a P4. And then we have Hamilton at 5, Alonso 6, Sainz 7, Perez 8, Magnussen 9th, and Tsunoda 10th at this point. The only ones who have not set times are Hulkenberg, Ocon, Sargeant, and Albon, right? So the Williams have not got out on track. What happened to Charles? He basically went off track. Max has gone off track as well. Again, we're looking at these cars and they're just kicking up dust behind them like it's water. So Oscar just jumped up to P4 with 133.3. And then we've got Sainz moving to, I think he improved to P8. Pretty much everyone is on hard tires at this point. The only ones who are not on are Magnussen, Tsunoda, Bottas, and Zhao at the moment. So let me see. Hulkenberg and Ocon have done laps, but they haven't done a complete lap as of yet, so they haven't set times. And then the Williams have not come out onto track. That's not a great sign. Yeah, Ashland, Charles went off track for a little bit. He basically missed an apex and came right back on track. That's a good question. That we need to take a look at deeper of what's going on with the Williams. Commentary. Yeah, F1. As F1, the live timing F1 has a text commentary. And they were like, no sign of Williams. Looking through these, and I'll give my place to. Hamilton just jumped to the timing board, top of the timing board with 131.292. So he's about 4/10, 3.5 tenths, I'd say, faster than Russell. Good third of a second. Jose, I know this is barely FP1, but literally this is the only practice they've got, so it is a big deal. So one of the things that they're talking about on the F1 TV at the moment is that essentially that the wind is blowing one direction, but if that wind the wind is changing, and if it continues to change in that way, ultimately that is going to be a disaster for everyone. Russell fastest second sector on a flying lap right now. Alonso is taking P1. He's gone to in the 130s right now. But where things are going, I mean, he's on track to take that spot. About to come to the line, and Russell will go into 129.979. So he's the first to break into the 129s on a hard tire. So right now, Max has just jumped into P3. So our top right now is Russell, Alonso, Verstappen, Hamilton. Leclerc improved to 131. As I say that, P5 has jumped into my Norris, but with a 131.4. So less than a tenth later, Leclerc with a 0.492 is in. And then Bottas is 7th with a 131.861. Oscar has improved the time to the 132s, and Stroll's improved to 132s. Snow has improved to 132. Stroll just jumped up to P8 with a 131.867, as I said that. And then Perez just jumped to the P7 with a 131.739. Yeah, I don't know what the bot is doing, guys. I don't know why the bot thinks that was foul language. Bot has been a little overactive this morning, so Oscar just jumped to P7 with a 131.509. About a second and a half off of Russell's time, though. Top three are within a second, and then it's big jumps. Alonso is a half second off of Russell, Verstappen is 7/10 off, and then Hamilton's a second and a third now. Arcon right now on an outlap at the moment. Hamilton jumping, improving his time to 130, 130.748. So he's improved under a second. He's improved ahead of Verstappen. Watching right now a lap from Arcon on stream. He just went through the speed trap going over 300 miles per hour. Someone's asking about Checo right now. Checo is ninth. He's a second and a 10th, 7th off. Yeah, now 10th. Now Hulkenberg jumped to P10. Again, the track is super slippery. It's a new track. It was dusty to begin with, and then there was a dust storm coming in at the beginning of practice that added more sand to the track. Gab's asking about the map. Map is we use someone again. We're waiting for the map to initialize properly. This happens in FP1 all the time. So just be Ocon going off track again, missing the apex on a curve. So we are seeing multiple people, and Max has just jumped to P1 with a 129.8. He's less than a tenth, so it's 0.096 faster than Russell, so less than a tenth. Kratos, make sure when you type things out, make sure you put spaces after your periods. That's why, because you've got text on both sides. It thought it was basically it thought it was a link. So and there we go. The max is just kicked in. Again, it's a matter of getting that map calibrated for each track. We're about 20 minutes into this session. We got, again, specifically 41 and a half seconds and a half minutes to go in this session. Again, this is the Racing Tickets YouTube channel, and you are listening to Crash right now. I want to thank over 3,000, over 282 are watching right now. We've got 335 likes as well. Why didn't I like it? There we go. 336 now. Map is working. You guys are all in chat. I want to thank Quest Tech for showing up. He's another member of the channel. Jose Martinez is here as well, my fellow Texan. He lives south of Austin. It's about the same distance as I live north of Austin, ironically. In the moment there, Russell has gone to a 129.7. About a 0.15 faster than Verstappen. And he's just come into the... It looks like he just came to the pits. Yeah, he's just come to the pits. We'll see if they're going to put a different tire on him. Or they're going to clean out the dust. The dust vents. Williams finally out on track. They've done about 5 laps so far since we last checked. But Albon has done 134, and then Sargeant is 153. They're 4 and 5 seconds off, respectively. Someone's been mentioning that when the mediums and softs go on properly, they're going to smash these times. Alonso's just gone P1 with 129.439. Leclerc now jumping to P1 with a 129.082. Faster second. Max still holds the fastest third sector. So we've got people out. We got a lot of people on track. I think anyone doing the fastest? Sargeant doing his first proper flying lap at the moment. He's going to improve to a 134.017, which he stays into P20 with. Albon has jumped up to P17, Stroll up to P10, Hulkenberg to P9. Those are the ones who have improved time so far. Again, our top is Leclerc with 129.082, Verstappen with 129.3, Alonso 129.4. That's a good question. Who's going to win? It's more of a... Winning is less of a concern at this track for this weekend, how things are going. The most important thing is that Max is unless something catastrophic happens in both the race and the sprint race, Max is going to wrap up the championship. He only needs 3 points to win the championship. In the sprint race, Max only needs to finish 6th, and he's won the championship. And we're bringing Max into the pits as well. Science is coming to the pits. So a lot of the teams are coming in with 37 minutes left to go. A lot of teams are coming into the pits after doing a couple of laps. RS thinks Norris will win and Oscar's second, and Max is champion anyhow, which is very much. But Max doesn't want to just be champion; he wants to win. So he's going to go out there. He is going to go out there and compete. And that's been the MO of Red Bull all season long. Why do they use these practice? Abdul, they need for short weekends. They need to do this practice to determine setups for this weekend, and they only have this one session to figure out those setups. I mean, some early on, several teams went out and did like for a while. Ocon and I think Magnussen just had no times because they went out and did an installation lap and then went in and they did some sort of tinkering on the car before they set a time. Alonso back to the top. He's now the first in the 128s. What tire is he using though? That's a better question. He's on hard still. So we're in the 128.6. He's again about a half second faster than Charles. Miss Norris, you need to be careful with your username because you've got misses with the period in it. You need a space after that period for it not to be considered a link. The bot has been relatively temperamental today. Look, Charles is saying that didn't sound good with the engine, and the engineer is saying we'll get back to you on that. That's not good. We are going to have to. So I'm watching, I think, Alonso on track. We need to keep an eye on track limits. This is going to be. I'm seeing too many cars go off the track just by a little bit. So we're going to be careful about. We're going to have to keep an eye on that during qualification. Who's going off track? Who's going to get track limits called on them? And invalidate their lap. I'm also guaranteed that we're going to see a Q3. Someone go out in Q1 because they basically did not get a proper lap in because they went off track at this point. I think we're on board for that. Is quality today because the sprint sessions? Yes, Fernando. So the order is it's going to be again. We're now in free practice 1. It's the only practice session. The next session is the qualification for Sunday. What would be free practice 3 is going to be the sprint shootout, the qualification for the sprint race. What would be normally qualification is the sprint race, and then Sunday we're back to the race on Sunday itself. What is the local time? That's a good question. If you guys are curious about session times, there is a great widget. If you scroll down, there's a great widget on the F1 page that has all the times. So right now it is 8:57 local. My local time is 8:57. I'm in Central United States. Track time is 16:57. So for me, they're 8 hours ahead. So I'll just jump to P6, we'll go on 30.656. But still, a second and a half behind his teammate. And this is something that's interesting, that we're seeing huge gaps between each. We're seeing huge gaps. Actually, he's 2 seconds off. Who else is out? Ocon is on an outlap right now. Albon's on an outlap. Sargeant on an outlap. Gasly on an outlap. And Magnus is on track right now. Everyone else is in pits at the moment. So, yeah, it is a issue of high temperatures. And about 56 degrees. Like last night, it was 56 degrees. Sorry, 56% humidity in the area. Not that there will rain. It's just it is humid. Humidity is up there. Albin and Sargent are the only one, and Max are the only ones on medium tires. Everyone else is on hards. We have not seen the soft tires, and we might see them at the end of the session. Why names are gray? It's because they're in the pits. Yeah, I mean, like Russell is on an outlap right now, so he's just disappeared. Now he's gone to white. Not as humid as Singapore. Not as humid as Singapore, but it's a higher level of humidity than I expected. Well, that's a good question. Jose's pointing out Checo has not come back out with his car. Let's see if there is. So Norris has a moment. He ran wide and hit a board. Didn't do any damage to him. It's just and he's not the only one. Max has run wide again. Lewis Hamilton saying it's super dusty out there, which is an understatement. Red Bull's getting a nice, beautiful shot of their car in a low light situation. Again, Charles has an issue with his engine at the moment. We'll see. It sounds sick. Wonder if it's choking on dirt. Again, we're halfway through the session right now. Wind is showing no signs of calming down. So again, one of the things you'd expect is as they're going around, they are pushing the sand off the track. But as fast as they're going, as much as they're doing, more sand has come onto the track. The Alpines have moved up on the board. Gasly P14 131.84, and then Ocon with a 130.184. Mercedes is saying it's about 35 degrees in Lusail as they head into the evening. That's air temperature. That's not the track temperature. That's actually higher. So. Honey's asking if you will keep this live in call. No, we will. We will go to a new stream for qualification. So when this live stream ends, basically, Racing Statistics will take you over to the next stream that will be for qualification. Robert Urge is suggesting how about front wing leaf blowers. Abdul's asking if does this race count all in terms of points. Again, right now we're in a free practice session. The where we will earn points will be tomorrow in the sprint race, which gives top 8 places. Top winner gets 8, drops 1 down point to 8th, who's 1 point plus a fastest lap, and then there will be a race that's generating points on Sunday. Sean's asking if it's you or if F1's looking strange. Generally, I mean boring. I mean, like they're on a new track. It's dusty already, and there's a sandstorm coming in, so there's that going on. Trolley's asking, what was the news on Sargeant on the bottom about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, he's the only one right now with the look through. Yeah, they want so right now the only seat that's not confirmed for next year is Logan's seat. James Vowles basically they want him Vowles wants Logan in the seat for next season, even though he's underperformed as a rookie. Looking at some of the other stories right now, Red Bull and Mercedes rear wings have new rear wings apparently this weekend. Lando is basically clapped back at Alonso's overconfident claim, saying McLaren anything but it was just Fernando always going to say things. Lewis Hamilton has come out in support of Andretti's potential F1 entry. He concedes that there are others who don't agree with him, which are many, including his boss. And there again, where F1 and F1 management are over a potential entry is they are miles apart in terms of where they are at, and it's at some point it's one of those FI is basically cornered. And as I talk about, Alonso has gone P1 with a 130.98. Sainz has gone P2 with a 129.066. Well, his last lap was a 130, but he's still P1. His time is still at P1. Leclerc has jumped to P3 with a 129.082. It looks like Russell was just reported that Russell went over some bodywork. We don't know where it's from. Yeah, of course he clarified things because his boss was like probably came down on him about that one. So Alonso set his time on 128.624 on hard tires. Sainz set his time, he's about 0.4 off on a medium tire. So we're not really seeing, I mean, right now, all except for Sainz's medium lap, the top 10 after that, top 12 to 11 are all on hard tires. You know, the next best medium tire is a second and a half off. Oscar just jumped to P4 129.235. 6 tenths off, 6.1111 off. Alonso's time, also on a hard tire. Are you going to have to add racing statistics? He'd be able to answer that question. I actually don't know where we're getting our for the timing sheet, where that's coming from. He manages all of that. And so we should better just at him in chat. think Meow has come into chat. Yeah, Max has been off the track multiple times. Charles just went off doing a replay of Charles going off the track. So everyone's been going off the track. It looks like Charles hit a curb, and he bounced weirdly around a curb. A curve. Excuse me. Okay, if you just have a question, if you don't understand something, just ask it in chat. We will, if I pick it up, or if I don't pick it up, someone else will pick up the answer. Again, the terminology for tires is hard, medium, soft. These are 3 compounds out of 6 that are selected for each race. So we're on the hardest of the 3, almost the hardest of the 3 compounds this weekend. Yeah, I think we're at the point now that the soft tires are not going to perform in a race scenario, but they will be out on for qualifications. They'll use them for those flying laps during quali. Did Ferrari get back to Charles on the engine issue? It looks like they have, because he's back out on track. Don Pierce thinking that soft may be used after a late safety car. I'm not even sure, even like a very late safety car with only a few laps. Okay, did anyone use soft tires yet? No, no soft tires in this session. We're about 20 minutes ago in this session. We have not seen the softs. And I'm not sure we will. They maybe want to be holding those back for quali and the shootout. I want to thank RS. He did earlier did a super chat for a member super chat for being here 3 months as a member, and he's also purchased 5 memberships for 5 random people. Those who I did not catch who they were, but welcome to the bigger family. One of the benefits of having a membership is basically you're throwing a few bucks each month to support the channel. You will get, again, you're a green chatter. You get a nice badge next to your name. Also, you have access to a certain set of emojis, and you get a membership super chat for each month. Oscar going to a 128.3, so he's a quarter second, so 0.244 faster than Alonso. So, Jaron Super, hi, new to F1, welcome aboard. What are the pink and green highlights? So on the timing board, there are basically 4 colors that you are concerned about. The red is basically a very slow sector. Yellow is a sector where they have the driver has not improved. Green is that the driver has improved, but not the fastest overall. And then purple is the fastest sector, fastest time overall. And then also by their position, if that number shows up purple, that means they've got the fastest lap as well. So right now, Norris has just jumped up to P2 with 128.441. Not the fastest lap, but improvement of his time. Leclerc just did a P4, 128.829. That's a improvement of his time to P4. Norris saying the FP means nothing. Actually, no, this FP means a lot here. FP is this isn't a big deal FP because this is the only practice they have. So like the fact that Piastri and Norris are at the top of the board right now, that's a good sign. The fact that Alonso at the top of the board, the fact that again right now Ferrari is at the top of the board is a good sign for that team. I mean, things that we should be looking at: Williams is at the bottom of the board, 16-17, 3 seconds off. Lawson, another few seconds off. Zhou is and Bottas are 15 and 19. That's not a great sign for their weekend. Magnussen, bottom of the board. Hulkenberg, P13, not a great look right now. Stroll is beating Perez. Stroll is a P11 right now, and Perez is P12. Part of the issue right now. Oh wow! I think the dirt's kicked up again, and so there is wind on, and a Stroll went off track. Yeah, Max is in the pits right now. Perez has done a lap. He's done he's done 18 laps. It's just a very slick and dusty and dirty track. Again, new surface, brand new resurfaced track. It's dusty because the F1 is the only event happening this weekend. There's no F2, no F3, no Porsche Cup, etc. And then there is a dust storm, basically high winds, which is basically bringing on more dirt as onto the track as the cars are going around blowing it off. So 16 minutes off in the session right now. Again, this is the Racing Systems YouTube channel. Again, this is Grash with you for your F1. Looking right now. Google saying pedal to the metal. Clerk just jumped to P1 with a 28.10, so 2.8-ish faster than Oscar. Yeah, I mean, the people who are on track right now, I think Sonoda, Zhou, Science Clerk, and they're the only one on track right now. We'll probably see some action in the next 5 minutes. Several teams going out to do several runs before session's over. And then we'll see at the very end, like a lot of teams going out for like a practice start. Ian GG saying, calm down, folks. It's just FP1. But this is the only practice this weekend, so it is a big deal. It is a big deal. Not what you expect, but the fact that teams are getting setups. This is the only time they're going to get practice to play with setups. Science just went P5 with a 128.817. Did he? Yeah. He's about a second off his teammate, though. It does matter because it shows that you've got the setup right. This is the only measuring stick we have before we get into qualification or the sprint race itself. It's normally for FP1, I would be agreeing with you and be like, yeah, you're right, whatever. But it is what it is. Just let people have fun. For those of you who are saying, oh, it's only just practice, go look up Iverson talking about practice. Practice, man. It's only about practice. Let people have fun, please. RS is it's not that Max doesn't need to win. It's just that the conditions right now with the wind shifting, and that's the issue, is that it's windy and the wind is shifting. So that's making things like, if the wind does like a 180 at one point, it's going to be hell to pay on track with the setup. So Eden, basically because you had a period with text on each side of it, it made a link. Why does it say Lawson because of Lawson? Because Lawson is technically the replacement driver for Ricardo. He's not the main. He's not the actual grid driver. So like when Ricardo replaced De Vries, Ricardo was replacing him as the driver on the grid. Lawson is not replacing Ricardo as the driver on the grid. He is He is just in as a replacement for Ricardo during this session. I know it's kind of convoluted. Another example is if let's say in a future FP1 session, a driver is replaced by a new by a rookie driver, which will happen as the season goes. It's going to happen a lot more because it hasn't happened enough just yet. You will see that driver come in all caps, their first initial dot. Substitute replacement. It is what it is. I mean, basically, Lawson's he's not contracted to be a grid driver. So he's contracted as the reserve driver. We've got 11 minutes to go. I'm just lagging. There we go. Yeah, 11 minutes to go in this session. Thank you, Apollo. What is your full name? Apollo 8, you are go for LTI, has given us Australian $5, and he's the answer himself via AI. Alvin Iverson. Basically, it's an NBA player who was asked about practice and had a epic response talking about practice. It's not that Max is struggling. Max has just been. Went out, set his time. He's been in the pits for a while. Where's Perez right now? Man, I mean, Checo's been in the pits for a while. What time will quali start? Quali will start in about 2 hours and 40 minutes from now. So 2 hours after this stream. So in about 2 hours, a new stream will be up for qualification, and I usually come on about 10 minutes or so before the session begins. So Lonzo's on outlap, Gasly on outlap, Hamilton on outlap, Watson, Zhou, Magnus on outlap, Bottas, Tsunoda's, Hulkenberg. So a lot of teams are coming out on outlaps right now. There's no winning the practice. I mean, it's just who's at the top of the board. That's what it is. There's no winning per se. It's just you just had the fastest time in this session. But again, we're looking at who is. I mean, we've got Leclerc doing a 128.1, and that's the fastest we've got right now. Who is off? I mean, basically P11 is 2 seconds off. Albon is 4 seconds off. Sargeant just jumped to P6 with a 120. 129.201 on a soft tire. Albon is P10 with a 129.4. Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Bottas, Lawson, Joe, Magnussen, all on soft tires now. So these back teams are all on soft tires for Blaze of Glories, basically, at this moment. No. It's someone who's named as an internet user. There is no FP2, FP3 this for sprint weekends. The next session is going to be qualification for Sunday race. What would be FP3 is going to be the sprint shootout, and what would be quali on a normal weekend is going to be the sprint race. So we are on a sprint race weekend. Abdul is confused because Max is -1. That's actually pretty good. That's actually not that bad of odds. The track, basically, I think the big thing that's affecting things right now is the wind on the track. And it's been very windy. It's potentially for a windy track and race. But again, Max doesn't need to win to get the championship. 6 minutes left in the session. Hulkenberg just jumps to P2 within a tenth, actually, 128.171. Leclerc did a 0.104, so we were within a tenth. He had a fastest second sector. So Hulkenberg. So did he go off track? We're showing one of the Haas is going off track. So this is something that we are going to have to keep an eye on. Russell's up to a P7 on 128.913. He's on a medium tire. Hulkenberg did his lap on a soft tire. Notably, Leclerc did his lap on a medium tire. And is this Stroll? No, it's Alonso having an issue going around one of the apexes. I think he went off track by a little bit. Gasly goes to a P7 with a 128.821. He's a 7 tenths behind Leclerc. Sainz, both Leclerc and Sainz are in the pits right now. Perez on an outlap, Verstappen on an outlap. They might do a flying lap. Alonso does a 127.919. So he's the first into the 127s. And he's doing his on a medium lap. We've got 5 minutes to go in the session. Sargeant back up to P6. Proves his time to 128.799. And he's on a soft tire. Used soft tire, that is. Alonso lap, he had a fastest sector 3. Hamilton has the fastest sector 1. Improved his time in sector 2. He is doing okay so far in sector 3. We'll keep an eye. He's about to finish the lap, and he's going to chip the slot in at P7, 128.679. He's on a medium tire. Will Alonso get back to podium this weekend? I mean, he's in form. Like this is. I know it's not. It's practice and it's not qualification on the race, but he's looking good in his car this weekend. Albon Williams. Now that they got on track, they're looking good this weekend. There's parts of this track that suit both Aston Martin and Williams. Perez jumping to P2, 128.06. 016. Max on a flying lap, fastest sector for sector. Proved this in sector 2 times. He's in sector 3 right now, about to finish his lap. Oscar's on a flying lap as well. No, he's in the. That's his old time. Max is going to slide into P1 with a 127.428, and he is on a soft tire. Yeah, I mean, like, I know a lot of people are like complained about how it's boring, but basically years from now, like when you guys talk about Max, years from now, it will be an amazing accomplishment. how he just came out and just dominated. Lewis Hamilton going off track. I'm trying to figure out which curve that is, but there's a couple apexes that drivers are missing on a regular basis right now. We've got 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left in this session. Dr. Scherzo is saying, as a Williams fan, it's been great to see a rebound season from last place from the previous year. What are long 1980s asking who's hamster? That's a few people's term to refer to Hamilton. They're not exactly Hamilton fans by saying that. Ocon V2, basically you're using a period with text on both sides. That's why you got timed out. Why is his name L. Lawson and not just Lawson? Because he's the reserve driver. He's in for replacement for Ricardo and not the actual driver on the grid. In fact, he doesn't show up in the F1 intro. He probably should have, to be quite honest. They probably should put him in the intro, to be quite honest. Like Charles went off track. And this is something we're going to have to keep an eye on in the qualifications, is that they are going off track. So I disable chat. There's a button to hide chat, dude. It's pretty straightforward. And we are now coming to the end of the session. 10 seconds left on my stream. Alonso has finished his lap. Oscar, so we're getting people are coming around. So essentially, basically, everyone is on track right now, and the reason they are on out track, like Max and Perez are on out laps right now. The whole purpose is to be on track as time expires, so that they can go around and get practice starts. I'm starting to see Carlos did not get enough sleep. I'm not sure why you guys are saying that. It's just some sort of meme you guys are throwing around each other, or I'm not sure what's going on with that. So we have come to the end of the session. At this point, cars, I think, we've got Max has gone P1 again. Science and Clerk have gone to 127.7, and Clerk with a 1.7.9. Snowden improved to P6 to 128. Russell improved to 128. Albon 128.959. Ocon 128.7. Lawson 129.238. Alonso was on a medium tire. That was the last tire he used. Just looking right now. Anyone else? So our top three in this session are going to be Verstappen, Sainz, and Leclerc. Alonso, Perez, and Tsunoda are the next three. Hulkenberg, Russell, Praski, and Norris round out the top 10. We finally saw soft tires at the very end, the last 10 minutes of this session, and that was to be expected. Alonso going wide off the track. So, hard tire is still the fastest. Yeah. Let me just check. No, soft tires. Again, the top three were soft tires. Alonso was a medium tire, and then Perez, Sonoda, and Hulkenberg were on soft tires as well. So, no, it's just they were testing the hard tires for race purposes. Oh wow, they're showing wins in the season right now by percentage. So when Vettel won in 2013, he was at 68%. The best so far has been Roberto Ascari at 75% in 1952. 2004, Schumacher 72%. Jim Clark 63, 70%. Max is at an 81% win percent rating. Now that is a massive, and that's massive on top of the fact that there are more races in the season than like Ascari, Schumacher, and even Vettel. And we're looking right now. Carlos lined up on the start grid doing a practice start. We've got almost 3,844 watching still right now. Thank you very much. We've got 657 likes. Thank you very much. Again, this is the Racing the YouTube channel. We will be back again for what will be the qualification. So normally it would be FP2. It's quality this weekend because it's a sprint weekend. We'll be back tomorrow for the sprint shootout. I'll be doing the sprint shootout in quali, and then the sprint race will be. I think Ryan is doing the sprint race, and then he's doing the race itself. If that changes, I'll tell you in the next session. As this stream ends, you'll be brought to the next live stream for quali, so you don't have to go anywhere. You'll be brought there automatically. So stay put, enjoy the ride. Again, this is Crash. I've been your commentator this morning. I'll be back again. 2.5 hours will be again 2.5 hours is when the qualification session will start. We'll be live within 2 hours. And we don't need you spamming chat. Thank you very much. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I blocked them by accident. Yeah, no, I got it. I got him, guys. I blocked him by accident, and I'm not put him in timeout. If he comes back, I'll block him. I am a man on the channel. Lol. Oh. I am the lawman in chat. All right. I am going to sign off right now. I will see you all in about 2.5 hours. Stay safe, get something to eat, and we'll see you for qualification. We'll see you, everyone, race fans.